What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Need and Build podcast. AJ and Mark here with Need and Build Apparel, and today we wanted to talk about the impact of fitness on our lives. Our brand is a fitness and lifestyle brand. We do really push fitness in our brand, and it's something that's really important in our lifestyles. We keep it close to the heart. We know how important it is for us being effective operators and effective men, as fathers and business owners. So we just wanted to talk about how, fitness has played a role in our lives and why it's important to us.
If I did this for the money, would've gave up long ago. It's the passion and the drive buried deep down in my soul. It's ambition, I'm too hungry, I ain't never getting full. On a mission, it's a battle.
We need to start the podcast again. For me, that was really never on my mind as a kid.
Working out and shit.
Yeah, working out, all that stuff as a kid. For me, it wasn't about that.
It didn't mean nothing.
That's why this topic sometimes for me is like a little difficult because like this is only recently that getting into working out and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like
it wasn't until adulthood.
Yeah. It's been since we started the brand. So
that especially.
It's crazy because you say like recently, but then recently is 5 years recently, right? Like it's been like the past 5 years.
For me though, I think I'm like, I don't want to say most people, but I'm the type, I should say that, who would start it and just stop and then,
at some point find it again.
Yeah. Or once I make progress, then I just coast and it falls out. I fall off again. So for me, when it comes to fitness and stuff like that, I already feel like I shouldn't be talking on it, but it wasn't until recently.
Yeah.
Especially when it came to the brand part, or when it came to running the brand. Now it's like, okay, well, this is gonna be a lifestyle and fitness brand. I got to do something.
Yeah. You can't be running a fucking fitness brand. And
But I could also represent the thick boys out there.
Well, you have to still do that.
I still do it
in fitness.
Yeah.
I just like thinking about it in like, I think fitness and not just working out. I think just anything in general that when it comes to your health, I think it all like helps you in everything else that you're doing. I think fitness could be like, could you honestly say that like working out and all that hasn't brought you like better mental space, better at your jobs because you're probably not hurting as much, like like little things that you like a lot of people would think about, like, oh, my back is hurting, because your back's not that strong because you're not working it out, my leg, my knee, this and that hurts, but it's probably because that thing's not really strengthened up, or it's not strong enough to handle the load that you're doing probably at your job, stuff like that, or just normal stuff. Like I always think about like long term when it comes to working out. Like I really, like, how my workouts go, and you pretty much do the same stuff, but I try a lot for muscular endurance and not crazy strength, but a really good moderate, like especially with weights, moderate weights, and especially since getting into running, I think it's obviously it's a lot of endurance, but I think of long term as I want to be able to play with my grandkids at the age of 60. I don't want to be in the hospital all the time. I want to be playing with my grandkids. I want to be, being able to do stuff with my kids and still, as they're adults at that point, but still be able to do things that I need to do at that age. But I always think of it in sense of long term. I mean,
I think for me, as time has gone by, especially after having kids, that has popped up in my head more often now.
Yeah.
Seeing the kids grow, it's like, dude, if we're gonna keep up with these guys, we have to have something in play.
Yeah.
We have to have an idea or a plan to be healthy enough to, even with just your kids,
yeah,
to keep up with them first.
Because and then like my schedule now, like it's every day is just going and going and going, and it's because my son has baseball, and then I still have my little one, and like my oldest Andre, he has sports, he has choir, he has all this stuff, and like I have to be able to keep up with it while working my job, making sure I get my workouts in, making sure that I come here and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I use the time as wisely and as efficient, be as efficient as possible. And once it's like if I just feel, I don't know, maybe some people are just superhumans and they can do all these things without having to be fit, but I think it really helps me be able to take care of all of that and keep going, keep it working out does keep my energy levels up high. I get tired, but as soon as I hit that bed, I'm out. Like I'm done. But I mean, it's especially important. I really want my kids to be able to see that I'm doing these things. Like and I think that it's important because it'll be important to them, and it has to be something that's important to them when they grow up. As they get older, especially because I mean, I grew up as an athlete. I played sports from the time I think I was like 7. I started off loving basketball. Like, basketball was my thing as a kid.
Basketball was a lot of people, even me.
Yeah.
And towards the end of elementary and middle school, and high school.
Why?
What do you mean why?
Can you think why basketball was the sport?
It was just everything. That's just.
Bro, it's because Michael Jordan was the man. Dude.
That's because and one, bro.
Yeah, and one did.
One was a big one.
And one came out. I think when we were like, I feel like I was junior high.
I was high school.
Yeah, you're old, but yeah, I think AI, Allen Iverson, and Michael Jordan. Before that, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls were my everything. I lived in New York during that time, like around 7, and I loved basketball more than anything. But
I wouldn't consider myself an athlete as a kid, but I did play a lot of basketball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the one sport I did play most of from, like I said, end of elementary into high school. But as far as my athletic career, that's as good as it gets, brother. I did paddling in high school. That was fun. That actually that was really good. I think we did a lot of working out on that one, a lot of calisthenics. But for me, it wasn't too. Sports or working out wasn't a huge. It wasn't on my mind. I should say.
Yeah. I don't know. I think because I don't know. I think because sports. I mean, not because so I'm trying to go back like where it all started, where it all came from for me. Because I mean, my whole life has really been always about sports or staying fit, trying to stay fit, or it's been a big part of anything that I did. Oh, I'm going back to like when I was 7. I played basketball, played sports all the way until college. So I played basketball when I was like 7, all the way till I moved back to when I moved back to Saipan when I was like 9. And basketball's not really at that time. It wasn't really the big sport. So I played baseball when I was younger in New York. I was like 7, 8. T-ball, stuff like that. But I hated baseball.
That's crazy.
I hated it.
It's a total flop now.
Big time. This is baseball was the most boring thing to me. And that's probably why my son probably thought that before too. But yeah, it was just too slow, It took too long and nothing was happening for a lot of the time. But yeah, we played baseball, played football too when I was in New York as a kid. And football also wasn't a big sport in Saipan, so I played football also in Saipan for a couple years until they kind of took that away. But baseball was it. Like it turned into once I made my first All-Star team in baseball, that was it. I was gone. I get to travel for free basically, and I went to a lot of different places. But then that's why I'm talking about baseball like it was something that I did, and I revolved everything around baseball when I was younger, growing up, throughout high school and everything. But because it's all the people I met, it kept me in the right space to make sure that because my goal was from Saipan, I wanted to go play college baseball, so I had to get my grades right, had to keep my grades right, and score well enough in score well enough academically to get into to move on and be able to reach that goal to play in college, because obviously you can't do it if no school's going to accept you if you have bad grades, right? It doesn't matter how good of a baseball player you are. But from having that goal, that's where I started learning to push myself. My uncle introduced weights to me while I was in high school, and since then, like the dude, I mean, I started training with him all the time. Then, you know, learning to lift weights with him, and then also I had a trip that I was going to New Zealand for baseball. It was like a 10-day trip or a 2-week trip where we're gonna be training out there in New Zealand with different, you know, coaches and scouts and stuff. And we had to train up for that, and that was a long preparation too. And that was hard. Like that preparation was probably one of the first things that I've ever done that was really hard. And we did that every night during the week. You know, school baseball. And I felt like those were my first tests. And when I felt that, oh man, everything came, because I mean, you get a lot of confidence from fitness. You get a lot of confidence from fitness. And I can honestly say that I think through that, when I'm talking about fitness, I'm talking about everything that I've done. I've pushed myself through baseball, you know, physical fitness stuff that I did in the Army. I'm talking about college baseball, the stuff that I did in college too, and then what I do now. It all comes together, and you know, it's a lot of tests. Like everybody thinks it's just physical stuff, right? Like you're lifting weights and you just want to be jacked and stuff like that. It's not that. For me, I think it's way different. I think it's you can really put yourself out of comfort zones, like running when you don't want to, lifting when you don't want to, doing extra reps, doing extra sets, doing more than you thought you were capable of. That's where the confidence comes from. You know, that's where you know that you start learning that you can't push yourself further than what you thought you could do. And
That you can?
That you can, yeah. That you can. You can. No, you can do more. Yeah. You can do more than, you know, most people think they're capable of. But it's all about learning that process, going through that process, and just doing it. You know,
I think that's a tough one too for some people, like how you said your uncle introduced you to weights and stuff like that. I think for some people, like for me, I never had anyone to show me that path. That way. I do remember the first time I ever did work out in a gym. It was back home in Guam, Paradise Fitness. First time I ever worked out with one of my family members. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what I was doing. This was high school too. I had an idea of how to use machines and stuff like that, but that's probably why for me that this isn't only till recently that I started, you know, really thinking about health and working out and stuff like that. But
and YouTube wasn't the biggest thing.
Oh yeah, YouTube would have been helpful back in the day. That's for sure.
Back in the day, that would have helped.
YouTube would have been dope.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was like really fortunate that my uncle, because my uncle lived out here in the States for a couple of years. I think he played high school football too. So like, you know, he was a younger, thicker, stronger guy, but he definitely taught me a lot about lifting. I mean, I would lift with him, do sprints. You know, like he really did. Not only did hard work, like having a hard work ethic, come from, you know, training up for baseball during my younger years, but it was, I mean, hard work ethic also came from just living on the island and the way that my uncles basically raised me, right? Yeah. But that pushed all the way into college, man. And then like, because I would lift with my uncle, do sprints, knock sprints out, because sprints was a big thing. Like I knew I was gonna be a small guy, so I had to be the fast guy, I had to be a quick guy. So I did sprints all the time. I can even remember, bro, like when I was in I was like probably freshman, sophomore. Like I remember, like at that age, especially back on the island, nobody's waking up like at 5 o'clock in the morning at that age to go run a mile or two before school.
Only the track and field kids.
Oh, maybe only track and field.
It always amazes me when I see younger people working out, like, you know, running and stuff like that. That always means like, man, there was no way I was in that mindset at that age.
Yeah, exactly.
You could tell how young they are. I'm like, this dude's over here driving, looking at him jogging on the side of the road. Yeah. It amazes me, like, dang, that kid's getting after it.
But I don't know if it's because, I don't know if it's like a Michael Jordan thing that I heard. I don't know if it's Alex Rodriguez, he was one of my favorite baseball players when growing up. But I don't know, one of these guys said something that told me, you know, you have to do what other people aren't doing. You know, it's always been that, you know, you have to do what other people aren't doing. You always have to approach everything like your scout is watching you. So I always go back to that. It's like, I always feel like, okay, maybe nobody's watching me, but what I am doing when nobody's watching, you know, is going to
It's gonna show.
It's gonna show at some point. It's all gonna come together at some point. But I started doing. I did all that stuff, and then go to college, man, and I almost didn't even make the damn baseball team. So imagine going from Saipan all the way coming out to the mainland, and it's like I pushed myself. I'm confident as hell. I just made an all-star team. Just went to the World Series, stuff like that. Like I'm good. But then when getting to Oregon, the mental stuff came to play. But then remember, like I said, I'm a confident dude. I already, did so much, pushed myself through a lot of stuff. Get to Oregon and trying to jump on this baseball team, and I almost didn't make the damn team. Pretty much didn't make the team.
All the way, he made it all the way out there.
All the way out there.
Yeah.
And then I had to push myself so much, and my roommates and my really close friend that was there with me the whole time, he knows, and he saw everything that we had to go through personally, and then along with baseball and school and stuff. Mm-hmm. Man, there was just so much and then for me to make that team, I had to double everything. So as a pitcher and an infielder, so. What they do is they have like two.
Explain to me because I don't.
Yeah, so what they do is during winter training right before the season starts, preseason stuff, you basically have separate sessions where it's pitchers work out, let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then infielders work out Tuesday, Thursdays, and this is the second practice of the day because you have a practice during in the afternoon. Then at night you have another. Or in the evening there's a practice for, those groups. I had to do both every day. So while most people were doing, 3 days a week or 2 days a week, I had to do all of it. I ran long distance with pitchers, and I did sprint sessions and footwork and stuff with infielders. So, that was one of those things where I pushed myself through all of that. At 18 years old, you're not really thinking like, oh, this is like it's like a mental game for you. Like I'm pushing myself through all this. I'm gonna be able to come out on top or something. I'm just like, no, I just gotta go. Like this is what I want to do. So I gotta do this. I want to make this damn team. So and this is like once again we're saying, right, like fitness, working out. It's not just about getting stronger, getting faster. It brings you that confidence, and it brings you those skills that you need to overcome things, right? And that was a hard time because I felt like I was failing more than myself because I come from a small island. I want to put my island on the map through baseball, but I almost didn't even make that damn team. So I was willing to do whatever I had to do to make that team. And then, and obviously I did make the team. Stuff happened, made the team, had a decent freshman year, became actually the starting shortstop my sophomore year, and that was all because of the process of learning everything that I had to learn coming from the small island, learning everything I had to learn, and then, being super confident in my sophomore year because I already went through probably the roughest time.
Oh, yeah, all that stuff you already went through.
Yeah. And then, if we're going to talk about college and then we're going to talk about fitness in the Army, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing. But the fitness in the Army thing is a whole nother thing just because you're just pushing your body a lot of the time, and PT in the Army it's everyday thing. And I always felt like that was the hardest. We always say it was the hardest part of the day, like at least for my job, what we did when we weren't in the field and stuff like that. Hardest part of the day, just knock out PT. Push yourself 6:30 in the morning to 7:30, 8 o'clock. Push yourself as hard as you can in that time, and it always made me feel good. I missed PT probably like once or twice through the 5 years I was active duty, man, and that was only because I was one of those guys where I can't tell them I'm sick. I can't, you can't call out. You just not like calling out of work or something, can't call out. You just gotta be there. You just show up, and sometimes you're tired. You don't want to do it all the time, but maybe
I feel like I was in the military, but I feel like you have no choice. I always felt like you didn't have a choice, really.
Yeah, you
like how the hell you call out in the military?
That's something called sick call, right?
Okay.
So you can go. You can say that something's hurting and you want to go, but everybody knows, man. It's once you do that, the rest of your platoon is looking at you like,
yeah.
What are you doing? There's something wrong with you. Like,
And give you
and
shit
just trying
for
to
it.
get out of it. Yeah, you get shit for it, but I mean, it got to the point where you weren't allowed to give people shit for it. But whatever.
Save that for another
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just it's all just like building, like all these years of it was just sports, all these little things that you learn in sports, to using that in army, right, for physical fitness. Being, I'm very average at all of this stuff. Like, and I'm always thinking like, I'm never gonna be the strongest, the fastest, the biggest, the smartest, but I can work. Like I'll keep working and I'll keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like that was always my big thing, especially. And I tell you, one of the biggest tests for me while I was when I was in the army. And this, at first, it messed with me like pretty hard. Like it was, I didn't think I could I didn't know if I could keep up with these guys, right? So when I got to Fort Lewis, I got stationed in Fort Lewis. These guys, the platoon that I was with, I wasn't a non-commissioned officer yet, and I was still pretty young. I think I was 21 still at the time, 22, and got a move to Fort Lewis from Fort Riley, Kansas, and these guys that I got put with, the platoon I got put with, all of them were just monsters, bro. They were just studs. They just got back from Afghanistan, and they were just all just monsters. Tall, big, strong dudes. Then even the shorter guys were just buff as shit, strong as hell. Like these guys, when they were doing pull-ups, they're floating. They're just like their bodies were hovering over the fucking pole, and not only like they were like bigger guys, like guys that are 6'1", 6'2", bro, and they're just muscular as hell. They're running 2 miles in like 12, 13 minutes. Like
What was your weight what was your weight in the military?
I was probably 175 or something around that time. And
So you're looking at these monsters
yeah,
at 175.
coming from Fort Riley, like I was pretty good at. I mean, I wasn't bad at PT. PT was really important to me. So I still lifted weights and I did everything I was supposed to do. Got good, PT test scores and stuff. But these guys were just on another level. And like all of them were just strong and fast. Like it was crazy. And when I first got to that platoon, I tell you, man, that platoon sergeant, he didn't play around. Like every day we're running like 4 to 7 miles, like every day. Like the dude was no joke. And then along with muscular endurance stuff and pull-ups, push-ups, all of that, squats, everything. And I didn't know if I could keep up, man. And I'm like, no joke. This is when I found out. Like we would go on these long runs and my nipples were tore the hell up. I sweat a lot and my shirt gets really, really wet and it starts rubbing. And every morning I'd have to go in and put liquid Band-Aid on my nipples so that they wouldn't start just bleeding all over my shirt, because it happened a couple of times and I was like, what the hell is this? And it never happened to me. But because we ran so much, it just constantly kept rubbing, But that was one of those tests. Like, and
Did it get easier at some point though? Like
it definitely got easier. I never got easy, but it got easier. Like it was just push, just keep going. And that was for real one of those things, just day by day. And I remember coming home all the time telling my wife, like, these guys are studs. And
because they're gonna kill me.
yeah, it's crazy because coming from Fort Riley, like there were some studs in our platoon there, but man, to have everybody, about like 90% of the platoon just a beast, like at everything, it was insane to me. But then it made me better, that's overcoming and just getting to it, just doing, putting the work in, and I got better at everything. I was a better runner, even though I still wasn't like a great runner, but I got better. I was a better runner, and then it also helped me, the fact that I guess when you don't quit and you just show up and you do it every day, like people they I could say they learn that once people around you learn that, then they can respect you more. Knowing that you're not gonna quit on them, you're willing to try and give it everything that you have, because they do. I know when I showed up there, of course I always prepared myself to get to when I get to a new platoon or anything, but prepare myself. But I wasn't prepared for that at that time. Like I did not expect that. Yeah. But it was good for me, especially mentally, to just keep pushing myself through those tests. And then after the army, it's all on your own. Like that's all you.
That's what I was gonna
you
say.
decide.
From what I'm hearing, a lot of your stuff is you're motivated by other factors.
Yeah.
And then so after the army, then what did you have? You know, what do you have?
Yeah, I mean,
For me, like I said, for me, I had no outside motivation
Yeah.
to do all that stuff.
there's no reason.
I was a
to do
kid.
that.
I just floated through elementary, middle school, high school. So it wasn't until for me it was senior year. That's when I got into, which I regret. I should have gotten into sports earlier, but I think that would have helped me earlier on to build, like you said, confidence.
Yeah.
Because in elementary, middle school, and a short period of high school,
Mm-hmm.
all my friends were my older brother's friends. You know,
Yeah.
I was very shy. I wasn't really outgoing. And then when, because I went to high school in Guam, and when my brother left to come back to the States,
Mm-hmm.
and my sister left me, and I was just, I chose to stay. They didn't leave me, but I chose to stay in Guam and then go through high school by myself out there. A loner,
Yeah,
the biggest loner. I had no confidence. I had nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally walking the halls, standing in a corner waiting for the bell to ring so I could go back to class so I could be around people.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was by myself. But it wasn't until high school football when one of my classmates asked me to join. I took a chance,
Mm-hmm.
got in there, started, doing the football thing, working out. Strong. I couldn't even run a full lap around the football field, not even one. But by the end of the season, I was,
Yeah.
I was good to go. But I think I like what you said about the confidence thing. I think that really does play a factor in
Yeah.
it. Because after that, then I opened up.
Yeah.
I was more social. I had more friends. I
Yep.
made probably, at the time, my best friends that I've ever had because I didn't have friends really going through high school. Or my own, I should say. A lot of my friends were my brother's friends.
Yeah.
So the confidence thing, I think it's, with working out,
Mm-hmm.
I think it does definitely go hand in hand.
And it's not just only because of what you like. What you're gonna see physical changes, right?
Yeah.
Because you're putting your body through stuff, and your body has to grow and adapt to the work that you're doing. But it's not about that. It's about all the tests that you're putting yourself through. The stuff that you thought you couldn't do that you're now doing. And that's the point I really want to get across. It's like fitness isn't just about being the strongest,
Working out.
fastest. That's not what it is. It's about being able to show up every day and push yourself to do every day that that you really can. It's not like like we said, we're not trying to be the strongest, fastest, and stuff like that. But you are trying to push yourself, compete with yourself every day to be better every day and every day that you can. And I think like it's like an important like a piece to just say like even if you can't work out or do even if you can't work out every day or 5 days a week, I think just doing something, if it's something like keeping it 3 days a week, 2 days a week, if you can do something, I think it's really important that people do that. And I think it's especially where we come from, man, because
Yeah, the island community.
from the Pacific Island community, man, like, and this is another really like big thing for me is I know that growing up, it's always, we always see, people, it's like our families, once they hit, it's like the age of 60, it's like people are looking or they're,
All the health problems.
yeah, the health problems
amplify.
kick in, and it's like people just, we accept that, our time is coming to a close. Like, that's crazy. Like, and it's because of the choices we make. Like, we can say, I mean, there's circumstances where, this stuff, it happens. But at the same time, there's things that we can do to keep ourselves healthy and strong, throughout those ages and those years of our life. And, I just know when I'm at that age, and I just want to, like I said, I want to be able to play and do things and work and, keep building on whatever I'm doing at that time. And if I'm sick and I have, these issues, and I won't be able to do that stuff, man. And I don't want that to be, I know I just don't want that to be my life. And that's why right now, everything that I'm doing is just to build and get ready for that stuff, because I want to build the habits and everything that I need to, so that when it comes down to that time, that I'm strong, I'm healthy, and I can do what I'm really set out, what I feel like I'm set out to do. And that's just to be a good whatever it is I'm at that time, along with being able to take care and be there for my boys and be there for their families when they have families. So I just think it's important to start now and, you know, think of like everything that we're doing now is going to build up to that point.
Yeah, I think it's tough. I don't know. Like you said, with our community, I think it's
and
a lot of people go through the same things.
Yeah.
You know, you just stop and think about your family. It's like there's multiple people, like even in my side of the family, they're getting up there in age, they're slowing down.
Yeah.
But then you look at other people around the same age that put health or fitness as a priority. You know, so I look at some guys, I'm like, dude, you're 60 years old?
Yeah.
I mean, some of the people that I work with, I look at, I've had 2 coworkers the same age. One looks completely different from the other.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's genetics or, you know, stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like, dude, some people look great at an older age, but it's because they choose
They made those choices.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I think we have amazing food, you know, that comes from the island and stuff.
Hard part,
and that it really is the hard
we
part.
We definitely know all about that.
But in like another thing that we've always done is, and I mean, I grew up seeing this too. Like, you know, the men, like our men, like, and I've been living that, you know, since I was able to start drinking. Like, drinking after working and stuff like that. Like, that's just a real thing. But I think we just do it so out of control sometimes. And I saw that it just becomes just a habit of just getting toasted every weekend, like just drinking so much beer, and you know, we can obviously see it in our people. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have some beers, you know, drink a little bit, but because I mean I still do it. It's not like it's not horrible, but I think if we understood how to control that and, you know, just limit ourselves to, you know, something, scale back a little bit, like, you know, just thinking long term, like I think it's just important for, you know, especially our people. Like I know I grew up watching it, you know, the drinking and stuff like that, and it really it became a habit of mine. Like I drank a lot throughout, you know, college especially, up to, you know, just learning recently that, and this got me to the point of just being self-aware. Like, dude, you're just drinking way too damn much. Like, I'd wake up, I'd hit you up, right? Like, it'd be like a Saturday or something like that, and it's like, dude, I woke up, I'm hungover. I can't really do, like, he show up and we need to print shirts and I'm still fucking just hungover.
Dragging.
Yeah, like from the night before. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, we're trying to build something here, but I can't even do everything that I should be doing because of what I did last night. I didn't string myself last night. So that's one of the big things that I always tell them now. Like, I don't want to be that guy anymore. Like, I don't want to be, you know, ineffective when it's time to work. We got to work. Like, shit has to get done. And if I was tired of that, and especially during that time, because we had very limited time when we were working, because we were in the garage. So you only showed up, you know, every week or every 2 weeks, and this is all the time we had. But if I'm over here fucking dragging, then I'm taking away from us and taking away from the brand.
I wasn't a drinker. I'm not a drinker. One of my main struggles is food.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Food. You touched on it earlier. Our food is just
it's too good to deny.
It's too good to deny.
Yeah.
Even me, I get into it when my mom starts cooking, or you go down family gatherings. It's like a frenzy sometimes, you know. But that's been my struggle the whole time. That's why maybe, you know, early on I never worked out. You know, I was definitely in a different mindset set than you were growing up. But for me, the big struggle is food. It's eating. It's controlling. And I think a lot of people struggle with it for sure. I guess for me, I don't know.
I mean, look, remember just when we started, you remember we started like working out and stuff like that? What do we always used to say though? Say we work out so we can eat.
Oh yeah.
Like we were just eating like shit all the time, and obviously we weren't making any like we were getting thick as shit, and we weren't even.
I made progress
during
that time.
No,
because before working out with you, I wasn't really working out much. I was doing like little bits of cardio and elliptical. But yeah, I definitely made gains. But yeah, eating whatever I wanted to after that. Yeah. We just ate whatever.
Yeah, we would literally go, and we were doing like every week, bro. Like, and we just have these, like we always used to talk about like rice and spam. Like that's our lunch. When we were working together, you know,
corned beef and rice.
Yeah, corned beef, rice, all that is, and I mean, good food. Like, and still fucking amazing. But it's like we were working out, and we were, you know, working out. I mean, hard at least, and we were working out, and we just threw on the calories like crazy, just eating whatever, not watching
Whatever
anything.
we used during the workouts, we go right back after. I know I did for sure.
Yeah, and it's like,
You know?
and it's like one of those things where, yeah, it was so up and down though. I feel like you were making progress, right? You make these gains, but then you have those days. Then on the weekend drinking like crazy, and then it's like now we reset. It's like we fucking did all that work in one week, and then you fuck it all up during the weekend, and then you got to start all over. You know, that's at least that's just how I felt compared to what is happening now. Like now I feel like my body's reacting in a totally different way. But yeah, like you went from not really
doing
working
much at
out.
all.
Yeah, just eating your ass off, and then
I worked at the gym for a little bit, and you know, we had free membership, so I'd work out then.
Yeah.
But it wasn't anything crazy. It was just mostly bench press.
every day,
just every day, chest day, every day. Just trying to get my bench, trying to get past 315, work up to 325.
I don't even touch the dumbbells.
I don't even touch the dumbbell. Nope. I don't even know what a treadmill is. For me, definitely the brand motivates me to wake up at 3:30 in the morning every day before work, get to the gym and work out. I think it does help me. You know, it gives me more energy in the day, even though I feel tired in the day, but I know I can push myself through it.
Yeah.
It gives me more confidence. It helps me with my job. I'm walking all day, up and down ladders, up and down stairs. It's helped me to keep going, and it motivates me even more. You know, to keep going. I do fall off the train, the bandwagon. You know, but I think knowing how many times I've fallen off, you know, I should get back up and do it again.
Yeah.
Because knowing that I can, you know, even after during the pandemic. So we worked out hard.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic,
and then
I made a lot of gains working out with you. And then the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
No gyms, no nothing.
That was everybody, bro.
Yeah.
That was a struggle. Yeah. But
Struggle for everybody.
yeah.
Well, I mean, you did pretty. Didn't you do?
Bro, no. I was fucking drinking every night, man.
That's a good point.
I'm over. We didn't work for two and a half months or something like that. So
For me though, I put on a lot of weight during that time.
Yeah.
And I didn't really see it till after 75 hard when I dropped a lot, and I looked back on some of the pictures and some of the videos, like, dude, I fell all
crazy.
the way out. Because before the pandemic, seeing, you know, I was like, dude, I had a lot of gains working out with you, and then afterwards, like, whoa. For me, I didn't see it. You know, it's like something you see every day. You don't really notice much of the change.
Yeah.
Until afterwards. Now it's in hindsight. Like with me working out now, it's like, dude, I look back on some of the videos, like, wow, I really did let go. It's just crazy to see that now. And then now, my mindset now with the working out stuff, like, I don't want to get back there.
Yeah.
It's not easier now.
Yeah.
It's still not easy to this day for me. Because like I said, this is a habit that I've recently built, but it's for me, it's still a struggle to keep going, keep pushing.
Yeah.
To wake up every day. Like yesterday, I woke up at 3:30 and went right back to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, I was supposed to get up and go to the gym, but it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I have those days where it beats me, but for the most part, I try my best to, you know, get up and get that work done. Because I feel a ton better working out afterwards.
Yeah.
I go through I come back home, I shower, get ready for work, I go. I feel good.
Yeah.
You know, it's a feeling. But some days it gets you, man. The end of the week, it's like end of the week gets heavy.
Yeah. Like it's like me and my brother-in-law were actually. He came up a few weeks ago, and he said he came and it's not like I told him, I was like, dude, I'm basically just trying to get something in every day, like my workout in every day. And maybe I'll take a day or two off, you know, if there's family stuff going on and everything, I'll do that. But I'm trying to get something in every day. And then I think there was a day I missed a workout and I said something, or I was thinking about just skipping, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go fucking get a workout in. And he was like, yeah, man. He's like, I get it. He's like, there's never a day, or there's never a workout that I regretted doing, but every workout that I don't do, I regret. You know, so you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
a good one. I like that.
And it's like I think about that a lot. Like, it's fucking facts. Like, every time I skip a workout, I fucking regret it.
Yeah.
But every time I didn't feel like working out and I went and worked out,
You feel a lot better.
yeah, you never fucking regretted
That's
that.
the mental thing.
You know? Exactly.
That's a mental
It's
barrier.
just doing it. Like, just getting it. Like, that's what 75 Hard taught us. Just fucking push. Like, you're not gonna feel it every fucking day. You know damn well we're sore. All that stuff. Just get through it. Just get out there. have those little triggers. Like, I gotta put my shoes on. Like for I know from probably me and you, it's like I don't feel like working out, but what's the trigger? Drink the pre-workout, because you're not gonna you pay for the fucking pre-workout. You're not gonna drink it and not work out and waste it, bro. Right? So it's like that's the trigger. Once you drink the pre-workout,
You have to go.
You gotta go. Like just
Otherwise,
fucking
you're
get
just gonna be itchy and all this energy doing nothing.
I gotta go for my walk. It's like, fuck, I don't feel like doing it. Yeah. Just put your shoe on.
I did not use any supplements during that, dude.
I
battled myself so it was.
But you have those triggers in it. You know what I mean? That's what
I think for me, what I look forward to, even when I was dead tired and I had to do at least my outdoor fucking walk.
Yeah.
For almost 3 miles, it's like. It's the after feeling, like the accomplishment I'm gonna feel afterwards.
Yeah.
Because I know the feeling, like you said, after you're done working out on the days that you don't want to, you feel a ton better. So that's my what I'm looking forward to after.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, it's still a struggle for me. I don't. Some days I don't get up, and I'm just like, fuck, and I regret it.
Yeah.
Like yesterday.
Like I'm really big on that feeling too. Like waking up. And I know a lot of people feel this way when they knock it out. It's like nobody is up. Well, everybody else is sleeping.
Yeah.
At 4 o'clock, I'm busting my ass and I'm sweating my ass off in my fucking garage, or I'm running outside. Like nobody else. Like not many people are doing that shit. So like, see there's a difference being made between people like that.
Yeah.
And I see that, and I feel that every time I just get my ass up out of the bed. Even though I only got 3 hours of sleep, even though I only got 4 hours of sleep, there's shit that needs to be done, and somebody's got to do it. Yeah. So you decide. Like it's hard. Like this is what in a story that I posted just the other day. Like you choose your hard. It's hard to be out of shape. It's hard because you can't do certain things, right? It's hard to be 50 years old, and have back pains, have certain diseases and stuff that you could have prevented, right? It's hard to, it's just hard to have, it's hard either way. It's hard either way, right? It's hard to work out twice a day. It's hard to get a workout in every day. It's hard to be on a diet because you want to enjoy all these foods.
The good food.
Yeah, all the good foods that, that could do so much damage to your body. Those things are hard, but you get to decide which hard you want, right? And you look at the benefits that come out of each one at the time. Because what I think a lot of people really forget about is, and what people, especially nowadays, don't like is delayed gratification. They want everything for satisfaction in the moment.
They want it now.
They want it right now. And almost nothing comes good out of that, ever.
So it's because of the way the world is now. Everything is instant.
Because it's all emotion. Everybody wants to base everything off of emotion. So like this McDonald's fucking hamburger is gonna make me feel great right now because it tastes so good. But that shit is first off, we all know that shit's not good for us. It's crazy how bad it is for us. But we all know that it's not good for us. But we want to taste it and feel good in that moment, knowing that there could be long-term effects, right?
We trade.
Yeah, it's a trade-off.
Instant, the delayed gratification for instant.
Yeah, but
then you affect your long-term year.
But and that's the same thing that goes with like working out and eating and trying to eat healthy, right? People think that okay, I'm gonna work out these 2 weeks, and instead of thinking that I'm gonna work out long term, like this is just gonna be my thing because it's like I want to work. Okay, so I'm gonna go 60 days and I want to be this big at this weight, or I want to be this strong and be able to lift this. But then you're setting an end goal in the short term when lifting weights and being healthy and all that. It's a long-term process. Like it all takes long. But people want to see stuff happen so quickly and right then and there. And when they don't, they just stop.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
People just quit, and you can't have that mentality. And like that's the things we talk about all the time is. It's the same thing because it all goes into like fitness, running this business. Same thing. We could have quit a long time ago, but it's a process. We have to keep learning. We're so far from knowing everything. We're not even like I feel like we're like a 1%. Like we're day one every day because we're trying to figure out so much shit every day. Every day something new pops up and we have to figure it out. It's the same thing with fitness. Every day you're gonna learn something new about yourself. And every day you're going to have to push yourself to be able to learn new things about yourself. You're gonna learn how strong you are, how far you can push yourself, you know. And if you don't put yourself through that test every day, then you won't ever know, right? So you just have to keep pushing, and you have to understand that it is a process. It is gonna take a while. Nothing good is gonna come like that. Nothing. Nobody got 10-inch, or not 10. Nobody ever got 15-inch biceps from doing 20 curls, right? Like in one day. This shit just doesn't
What about
happen.
6-minute abs, bro?
Yeah, 6 minute abs. Like nobody got
20-minute buns.
nobody got a six pack in fucking 6 minutes. Like it all takes time. Just think about everything you've ever done over your life and tell me if anything that look, one of the simplest things I can say is think of children. If a child, you think, you know, there's a reason why, right? Like scientifically,
Science.
that the child stays in the womb for 9 months. They're not just born on the spot. Like, they're not just, you know, things hit the things and then, and then the baby's just born. Like, there's a process. The baby gets built up, the baby's developing, the baby's getting stronger in the womb. Then it comes out into the world. And then it's a whole nother long process of building, you know, that child's life. It's all the same thing. Like and I feel like that's any goal that you set in front of you, that's what it's gonna be. You know, just understand it's a long term. Whatever you're doing now, and there's some kind of goal that you're setting for yourself, understand there's a process to it. If you really want it to be something real, and you want it to be something that has a strong foundation and is strong, understand that it's gonna be a process. And if you think it's gonna come quick, it's probably not gonna last very long. So understand that there's a process to all of it, and there's a reason for it. Survival of the fittest. That's what it really is. All right, so like, you know, fitness, you know, it comes with a lot of stories, and it comes with a lot of tests and struggles. And it doesn't matter where you start when it comes to working out. It doesn't matter where you are right now. You just have to think about where you want to be at and the reasons why you're doing it. And I think for us now in the time of our life now, it's more about just our health, right? It's our health. And it's not about, you know, you can just say probably 5 years ago, we're just thinking, I just want to be strong as shit, you know, stuff like that. And everybody has their different goals. I'm not shitting on that at all. I'm just saying, like, we have different goals in different times of our lives. You know, if you have those goals, just understand that it's going to be a process, and just be willing to work through it every day. There's going to be days that you don't want to do it. There's going to be days that you're going to be all about it, right? But just take those steps forward, and I think that's important, especially for the Pacific Islander community. I think more of us need to, you know, be willing to make fitness, make our health more of a priority, right? And that's just something we wanted to talk about today. But we just wanted to talk about that today and kind of give our perspective on, you know, how it's helped us, how it's gotten us to this point, you know, and how it's helped us even with the business, with running the brand, not just because it's a fitness brand, but also because we have to be able to operate this, you know, and run this every day through having families and jobs outside of this too. So we just want to talk about that. And you know, we're not professionals, you know, at all. We just do what works for us, and I know for sure, like, I've always loved anything that came with, you know, working out and, you know, fitness, sports and stuff like that. And, you know, it brings you to a certain mental space, and it also leads you to people that you might not have, you know, met outside anywhere else. Like, he was a loner because he wasn't playing sports or anything. And then we connected because not just because we worked together, but because we started working out together. That's how we really, we really bonded. Yeah. And then from us just lifting weights and stuff, it turned into a business. No, you know, not lifting weights, but we would have fucking failed at that. But I mean, like, the fact, like, our relationship, you know, was built into, you know, we were able to create a business out of with our relationship. And we just hope that, you know, people can, you know, just understand what's best for you. Do understand that fitness and health is, if you lose your health, you really have nothing. Like that is, if you, that, and we're forgetting that, and we need to make our health more of a priority. And nowadays, mental health is a really big thing. And I can also tell you that, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't go through my own demons in my head, every day. But I can tell you that fitness and working out every day really helps that, and helps keep me on track and from doing things that I probably shouldn't be doing, right? Like the drinking and overeating and stuff like that, that can take me to a whole different place. And that's not where I want to be. So I make sure that, fitness takes priority. My workouts take priority over all of that stuff. And I'm not saying it's a cure-all, but I really do think fitness can really help a lot of people, especially at this time. If we didn't learn from COVID, those 2 years, then and you didn't understand like how that all played out and what we learned about that, the fit people, the people that were really true to themselves and stick with living healthily and sticking to their fitness and eating right, COVID wasn't an issue for them. But the people that didn't, that's who it took a toll on, right? So I know that woke me up, and it looks like it woke up a lot of people, and I think a lot more people are taking fitness and health and more into consideration for their lives, because we don't know when something like COVID could ever happen again, and you want to be prepared for that. So I'm glad you guys joined us on this episode. Thank you guys. We hope that we were able to help in some kind of way for you, and we hope that our stories can help inspire and motivate you. If anything that sits with you and can inspire you to do something that gets you better in any way, that's our main goal, is just helping people along this journey of ours too. So thanks for joining us. We hope you liked it. Hit us up.
See you on the next one.
See you guys on the next one.
If I did this for the money, if I did this for the money, if I